Rabbi Abraham Twersky tells the story of the time that he bought a new car, and 2 weeks after he bought it, the cruise control stopped working. So he drops the car off one morning at the auto dealership, and like most of us, he's incredibly disappointed. How could it be that he bought a new car and it's not in perfect working condition? And so he gets to his office, and Rabbi Twersky is a psychiatrist who specializes in addiction. And his first client that day is a young woman who has just overcome her addiction, just gotten a job, and just started to put her life together. And the woman comes into his office and she's overjoyed. So he says to her, "Why are you so happy?" And she explains, "I finally could put together enough money to buy a new car." "Well, how did you do that?" he asks her. So she explains the car cost $500. How do you have a car that costs $500? So she explains that the car is in working condition, except it has one major flaw. It doesn't drive in reverse. And so she has to figure out every time she's driving how to get in and out of the places she needs to get to without driving in reverse. And Rabbi Twersky reflected on the enormous contrast between himself with a nearly perfectly working car and his disappointment, and with this woman with a car that really is a clunker, but her joy and her happiness. And I think part of it is that we think that disappointment and gratitude are opposites. That if you are feeling disappointed, you can't have any sense of gratitude. And that's an enormous mistake, because actually, when you're disappointed, you need gratitude more. In the coming week's Torah reading, we're told about Leah. And Leah, for her fourth child, she names him Yehuda, which means, "Now I will thank God." And the Talmud comments that actually Leah is the first one to thank God. Now, every reader of the Talmud says that's impossible. Leah can't be the first one to thank God. We even have explicit examples of others like Malchi Tzedek who thank God. So what does this comment in the Talmud mean? Let me give you my explanation of it. The fourth child of Leah is the first one that she names without any mention of her husband. The first three children, she talks about the fact that she is an unloved wife, and that she hopes each time she has a child that maybe now Yaakov will begin to love her too. Because Yaakov is giving all of his affection towards her sister, towards Rachel, and Leah wants some of that affection. And so the first three children she names, saying, "Maybe now my husband will spend time with me." But by the fourth child, she understands that she will forever be disappointed by Yaakov. And even so, right now, she can offer gratitude. And Leah's lesson about gratitude is that gratitude and disappointment are not opposites. On the contrary, it is when we are disappointed that we need to find gratitude. I had a friend named Marlene who, when she was given her diagnosis of cancer, which ultimately took her life, she said, "I need to look at myself differently." She said that even if her situation was miserable, she wasn't going to be. And she actually kept a gratitude journal during the days of chemotherapy, during the times that she would be crying all night. She would still find things to be thankful for, because gratitude is even more important when you're disappointed, to recognize what you actually do have, even when there are so many things that you don't have, is such a critical idea. This coming Thanksgiving is going to be a Thanksgiving during a time of disappointment. For all of us, we're not going to be able to have the friends and family we would want to have around the table. And for many of us, it is a time of profound disappointment and loss of jobs, loss of money, even loss of loved ones. And during this difficult time, it is all the more important for us to recognize with gratitude what we are thankful for.